Coverage you can count on continues with Glenn Marini's Sports Report.
Heading into the season opener on August 22nd, 2003, the Elmhurst Trojans had lost 64 games in a row. To this day, it's the longest losing streak in Indiana high school football. Meanwhile, Bishop Dwenger was ranked #1 in 4A and coming off a trip to the state title game. What happened that night at Zollner Stadium is the biggest upset in Fort Wayne football history. We take a look back in this week's Throwback Thursday.
It's a new Elmhurst! New Elmhurst! No one in the world gave us a chance to win that game at all. As it clicked to 0, that's when it all happened. I mean, water on my back, Gatorade, everybody jumping up and down, celebrating, 64 no more. You know, all the sayings and the phrases came out. So, you know, I was kind of, you know, just happy that we was able to get those seniors a win.
That's my son, and I'm proud of him.
We've had seniors like Adam Bixby from last year that ain't had a win all 4 years. I dedicated myself to these seniors that they would not leave here without a win this year. Dip your hips, whip the head, find the ball.
In 2003, a young Roosevelt Norfleet was in his second year as Elmhurst's head coach. Now the head coach at Southside, the Trojans' 27-23 victory over Dwenger is still a vivid memory.
And I remember telling them we were going to shock the world. One thing that a lot of coaches say, you can't teach heart. Those guys had heart, you know, and from that offensive line to the running backs to the defensive line and DBs, they had heart.
It's over. It's over. Stop the talk. Stop the talk about the losing streak. It's over.
Yeah. Sums it up right there. That's awesome.
Matt Lindeland was a junior for the Trojans that season. A linebacker, he now works at the Jorgensen YMCA as the sports director.
It's going to be like we won a Super Bowl or something, just a huge burden off our chest. It's going to be good. The one thing that I really remember from the game was how when we first started, our sideline wasn't very populated. And about halfway through, I think the city started hearing about Elmhurst was actually winning for once, and the crowd size.
Nothing's gonna beat this. Nothing's gonna beat this in my life. It hasn't been the biggest moment in my life. I'm, married. I have a kid, bought a house, jobs, everything like that. So life has been there. As my young life, before you enter the real world, yeah, it'd probably be one of the best.
While James Hardy was the game's star with 3 touchdowns, David Bruni was Elmhurst's backbone. A captain, the senior lineman played both ways. His jersey number, serendipitously 64, the same number as Elmhurst's losing streak.
They always talk about great teams winning games and then eventually losing, and then they say you can't win them all. I guess what this says is that you can't win them all, but you can't lose them all either.
The older you get, the more you realize that situations like that come up and things may not always go your way, but it's always good to just keep plugging, keep your foot on the gas pedal, and just move forward.
You never give up. No matter what the odds are against you, no matter where you're at in life, you never give up. You always, persevere through any, trial and tribulation, and you go out there and you fight. Now, I asked Coach Norfleet if that win means any less since Elmhurst is now closed. He says it actually means more, saying, quote, "It's a night they'll never be able to take away."